Hello and welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou and today I'm going to be sharing with you an exciting video. I'm going to be looking at my most anticipated Christian books coming out in the second half of 2021. I've managed to find quite a few books now for the rest of the year, so I will be hopefully bringing out my monthly new release videos. But here are some that I particularly personally want to read. The Ice Swan by Ciesielski is a historical fiction. It is set in 1917 Petrograd. Fleeing the murderous flames of the Russian Revolution, Princess Svetlana Dulski hopes to find safety in Paris with her mother and sister. But the city is buckling under the weight of the Great War, and the Bolsheviks will not rest until they have erased every Russian aristocrat from memory. Svetlana and her family are forced into hiding in Paris's underbelly, with little to their name but the jewels they sewed into their corsets before their terrifying escape. So this one looks like a historical romance set during the First World War. And it seems interesting to me because it's got Russian connections as well as connections with Paris and Scotland. The other romantic character is a Scottish duke and he is a surgeon. So that one sounds really interesting to me. It's a part of the war that I'm not familiar with, so I'm hoping to get to that one when it comes out. Yours is the Night by Amanda Dykes is coming out, and I'll be honest, it's the cover of this one that really attracts me. The colour is amazing, and I think this is another wartime one. Private Matthew Pettigrew arrives in France as part of the American Expeditionary Forces, an arrival which a war-weary France desperately hopes will help to end the turmoil. Having faced unthinkable things on the front, he is captivated by the sound of a lullaby, sung by a voice so pure he knows he must have imagined it. But rumours sweep through the trenches like wildfire, dubbing the voice the Angel of Argonne, a mysterious presence who leaves behind wreaths on unmarked graves and footprints in the war-pocked soil. So another wartime romance. I think this one sounds like it's the Second World War, maybe. Yeah, it sounds good. I've enjoyed Amanda Dykes' book before that I've read, so I'm looking forward to that one. Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Busse is a steampunk Christian novel, and I loved her Ravenwood Saga books, so I'm really excited to read a slightly different type of fantasy sci-fi book from her. And the description is, what's lurking in the mist is the least of their worries. In a world where humanity lives in the sky to escape a deadly mist below, Cass's only goal is survival. That is, until she finds a job on the airship Daedalus as a diver. Now she explores ruined cities looking for treasure and people's lost heirlooms, until a young man hires her to find the impossible, a way to eradicate the mist. Again, the cover of this book is amazing, and I love all the kind of ethos of the steampunk. I love all the airships, and the concept of this book sounds amazing, so I'm looking forward to that one. Tacos for Two by Betsy St. Amant is a contemporary romance book, and again, the cover is amazing. I think maybe I'm drawn to the covers sometimes more than the descriptions of books. But the description reads, Rory Perez, a food truck owner who can't cook, is struggling to keep the business she inherited from her aunt out of the red, and an upcoming contest during Modest's annual food truck festival seems the best way to do it. The prize money could finally give her a solid financial footing and keep her cousin with special needs paid up at her beloved assisted living home. Then maybe Rory will have enough time to meet the man she's been talking to via an anonymous online dating site. So from the description that carries on, I think this is going to be like rivals on cooking competition, but online. Maybe they're in touch with each other. A bit of You've Got Mail vibe to it. So it sounds like it could be really good fun to read. As Dawn Breaks by Kate Breslin is another historical wartime fiction, I think. This one is munitions worker Rosalind Graham longs to choose her own life and escape her guardian's manipulations. On Rose's last day at the Chilwell factory, co-worker Tilly Lockhart plans a farewell party and the two exchange IDs so Rose can await Tilly at her flat. But the factory explodes, killing hundreds, including Tilly. Realising the world she thinks is dead, Rose sees her chance to escape. She assumes Tilly's identity and takes a supervisory job in Gretna, Scotland. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers, was working in a munitions factory, so this one kind of grabs me in that sense. But also, I really enjoyed one of Kate Breslin's previous books, which is Far Side of the Sea. So I'm really looking forward to reading this at some point too. Of Fire and Ash by Gillian Bronte Adams is a Christian fantasy book coming out, I think, in December. And I've been reading through her Songkeeper trilogy, which I've enjoyed. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what she's got coming out next. Description reads, she rides a fireborn, a steed of fire and ash trained for destruction. Ceridwen, I'm not going to pronounce this right. Ceridwen Tal Desmond dreams of ruling like her father over the nations of Soldonia, where warriors ride to battle on magical steeds, soaring on storm winds, vanishing in shadow, quaking the earth and summoning the sea. After a tragic accident claims her twin brother, she is exiled and sworn to atonement by spending her life or death for her people. This is a book that's only been announced recently and they've just done a cover reveal, but definitely I want to pick that up at some point this year or next year. Then I've got a couple of non-fiction books that I'm looking forward to. Just Leadership, Putting Integrity and Justice at the Heart of How You Lead by Justin Humphreys and Simon Barrington. Justin is one of my friends, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to say about that. He is the CEO at a charity called 318, which is a children's safeguarding charity, and he also lives near me. This book is described as From Me Too scandals to the explosion of spiritual abuse atrocities in the church. We've watched too many leaders let us down. What went wrong for these leaders? And more importantly, how can we get it right? And then Lee Strobel, who wrote The Case for Christ, has a new book coming out later in this year called The Case for Heaven. This is, we all want to know what awaits us on the other side of death, but is there any reliable evidence that there is life after death? Investigative author Lee Strobel offers a lively and compelling study into one of the most provocative topics of our day. Is there an afterlife? What is heaven like? How will we spend our time there? And what does it mean to see God face to face? So I think that'll be really interesting to see what arguments he puts forward. I enjoyed his book, The Case for Christ, so I'm interested to see what arguments he comes up with on this one. I'm watching people on Twitter quite a lot at the moment and seeing the arguments that people have against the gospel and against Christianity is quite interesting. And sometimes I post things, get involved in the debates, but mostly I'm watching just to see what people are arguing for and against. So I'd like to read a book where more of the arguments are kind of set out and I've got something to come back with when people ask me questions. So those are some of the books that I'm particularly interested in. Let me know down in the comments, firstly, if any of those books are interesting to you, if they're new to you, and also if you've got any other books that you're really excited about that are coming out in 2021, also put them down in the comments for everyone else to see. I hope you are all well and having a good reading week, and I will see you again soon. God bless. Bye.